The Kia Telluride has been collecting awards and breaking sales records since it launched, earning praise as one of the best three-row SUVs you can buy. But behind all that success and positive press, there are some serious issues emerging that could make you think twice before buying one. If you're considering a Telluride, these 6 problems could affect your ownership experience in ways the marketing materials won't tell you. Let's check them out. Number 6. Fuel economy. Here's something that might surprise you about the Telluride. It's drinking more fuel than many of its competitors. While we're all waiting for the next generation to bring more efficient powertrain options, the current model is sticking with a single engine choice, a 3.8-liter V6 that puts out 291 horsepower. This engine is smooth and capable, but when you look at the fuel economy figures, things start to get uncomfortable. The Telluride returns around 20 miles per gallon in the city and 26 miles per gallon on the highway. Here's the reality. Most families with three-row SUVs are spending significant time in stop-and-go traffic, shuttling kids to activities, and sitting in school pickup lines. Those city numbers mean over the course of a year, that's hundreds of extra dollars you're spending on fuel compared to more efficient alternatives. The real problem is the context. Many competitors have moved on from V6 engines entirely, offering turbocharged 4-cylinder engines that deliver comparable power while sipping less fuel. Even more concerning, several rivals are now offering hybrid powertrains that completely change the efficiency game. The Toyota Highlander Hybrid is achieving around 36 miles per gallon combined, and that's a massive difference when calculating annual fuel costs. But fuel economy is not the biggest issue you might have with this SUV. It's the lack of features you'd expect to get at this price range. Number 5. Lack of some essential features. The Telluride has earned a reputation as an excellent value proposition, but Kia is cutting corners in some surprisingly basic areas that are going to frustrate tech-savvy buyers. One of the most glaring omissions: wireless smartphone integration. Think about your daily routine. You're running late, the kids are complaining, you've got groceries in one hand and your phone in the other. The last thing you want to deal with is fishing around for a charging cable just to get your navigation working. These days, most three-row SUVs in this price range are offering wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The Telluride still requires you to plug in your phone with a cable every single time. That might not sound like a huge deal in the showroom, but in the chaos of real family life, it's an unnecessary friction point that competitors have already eliminated. The Telluride is also missing some driver assistance features that are becoming standard in the segment. Certain rivals are offering more sophisticated adaptive cruise control systems, while some competitors include 360-degree camera systems as standard equipment. Kia is making you pay extra for what should be baseline safety technology, but even with these features included, it wouldn't mean much because the third row doesn't deliver what families expect from it. Number 4. Third row could be more spacious. Three-row SUVs live or die by their ability to actually accommodate adults in the third row, and this is where the Telluride starts to show some weaknesses. Kids and teenagers are going to be fine for reasonable trip lengths, but if you're planning to regularly transport adults in that back row, you need to set realistic expectations. The third row in the Telluride offers about 31.4 inches of legroom, which sounds adequate on paper, but several competitors are doing better. The Volkswagen Atlas provides more spacious third-row accommodations. The Subaru Ascent is giving passengers more breathing room in the way back seats. The redesigned Honda Pilot is showing improvements in third-row comfort that leave the Telluride feeling a bit cramped by comparison. Passenger space is a great thing, but we can't neglect aesthetics, which leads us to the next issue. Number 3. Polarizing styling. Let's address something that divides potential Telluride buyers right down the middle: the exterior design. Kia has been trying to create a bold, distinctive look that stands out in crowded parking lots. Mission accomplished, but not everyone is celebrating. The front end is particularly controversial. That massive grille treatment and geometric headlight design is either going to strike you as modern and commanding, or you're going to find it overdone and trying too hard. There's very little middle ground. Compare it to the Honda Pilot or Toyota Highlander, which take a more conservative approach. Those designs might be less exciting, but they're also less likely to cause disagreements when the whole family needs to sign off on which SUV to buy. The Telluride is wearing some fairly prominent body cladding that gives it a rugged appearance. That's great if you're attracted to the adventurous aesthetic, but for buyers who want a more refined, upscale look, those black plastic panels feel a bit at odds with the premium positioning Kia is trying to achieve. Here's why this matters. You're going to be looking at this vehicle in your driveway for years. If you're not genuinely excited about how it looks, that's going to gnaw at you over time. The Telluride's polarizing design means some families are going to pass it over entirely, regardless of how competitive it is on paper, simply because they can't get past the aesthetics. Number 2. Small item storage. This is one of those issues that doesn't show up in the spec sheets, but it's going to bother you every single day you own the Telluride. Picture this. You're heading out on a weekend road trip. Everyone's got their phone, charger, water bottle, snacks, sunglasses, and a garage door opener. Where does all of that actually go? In Telluride, you're going to struggle to find convenient homes for all these everyday items. The center console is decent, but it's not particularly deep or well organized. There's no two-tier system that some rivals use to separate smaller items from larger ones. The door pockets are adequate, but nothing special. They'll hold a water bottle, but don't expect to stash much else alongside it. Here's what actually happens in real-world use. You end up with items sliding around loose, rolling under seats, or cluttering the console in a way that looks messy. By the end of a busy week, the Telluride's cabin starts looking chaotic because there's no designated spot for everything. The second and third rows are particularly problematic when it comes to small item storage. Kids riding back there don't have many convenient spots to keep their devices or snacks during longer trips. But none of this matters if a vehicle is not as reliable as you'd expect. Number 1. Reliability issues. Now we're getting to the concern that should be at the top of your list: reliability. The Telluride burst onto the scene with tremendous momentum, but owners are starting to report some troubling patterns that potential buyers need to understand. These aren't just isolated cases, these are issues showing up frequently enough to raise red flags. One of the most common complaints centers around the infotainment system. Owners are reporting screens that freeze, systems that restart randomly, and touchscreens that become unresponsive. Here's why this matters. Imagine you're backing out of a tight parking spot and suddenly your backup camera screen goes black because the system decided to reboot itself. That's not just annoying, it's a genuine safety concern. Some owners are making multiple trips to the dealership trying to resolve software glitches that keep returning even after supposed fixes. Transmission behavior is another area generating complaints. Some Telluride owners are experiencing harsh shifting, particularly when the transmission is cold or during low-speed maneuvering. Others are reporting occasional shuddering or hesitation during acceleration. While these issues might not represent complete failure, they're creating concerns about long-term durability and potentially expensive repairs once the warranty expires. Electrical gremlins are popping up too. Owners are dealing with battery drain issues where the Telluride refuses to start after sitting for a few days. Various warning lights are illuminating without a clear cause. Door locks occasionally malfunction. These problems are particularly frustrating because they're intermittent and difficult to diagnose, leading to repeated dealership visits without definitive solutions. The Telluride is also showing some premature wear in surprising areas. Interior materials that should hold up well are deteriorating faster than expected. Some owners are reporting excessive wind noise that develops over time. Paint quality concerns are emerging, with chips and scratches appearing more easily than they should on a relatively new vehicle. So, there you have it. 6 genuine concerns that Telluride buyers need to understand before making their purchase decision. From fuel economy that lags behind hybrid competitors to reliability issues showing up across owner forums, these problems represent real-world frustrations that won't show up during a test drive. The Telluride still offers value and capability, but going in with eyes wide open about these weaknesses will help you make a more informed choice about whether this award-winning SUV is truly the right fit for your family's needs. And while these issues don't change the fact that the Telluride is a great value, things are about to get much better after the upcoming redesign. If you're patient enough to wait for the next generation, which is around the corner, you'll benefit in so many ways. The new model will look better, be more luxurious, and offer more efficient powertrain options, among other improvements.